So I titled it, This is the Moment I Was Talking About. And on my thumbnails, it says, Goddesses, Mysteries of the Divine, of the Feminine Divine. Now, I'm not going to get into this book yet because I want to complete the civils. I don't want to skip around anything. But the reason I took that thumbnail is because of the divine feminine is coming in. My first video, my first audio on my channel was separation between chaff and wheat. Okay. I think I put it on private now. I have to go back. It's hard to go back through all my videos using my cell phone. So I need to get on the computer and do it. But it's called Separation Between Chaff and Wheat. And that was in March when I made that video, March 2018. And I was talking about certain Black women who would separate from each other. I put up countless videos talking about the need to separate from a lot of these pro-Black women. I said they are toxic. They pro-Black women. I said they are toxic. They really hate Black women and girls. And the reason I was motivated to start this channel to push a separation from those women is because, I mean, I've seen some women talk about how they knew about the treachery of Black women and Black women, but for the most part, there were certain other Black women who just loved all Black women for the sake of her skin being brown. And no matter what she did, if she was a Black woman, she would be pardoned in all of her treacherous ways, the same way a lot of these pro-Black women pardon Black men. It's no difference. The way these ladies are being accused of mammying for Black men, where there were Black women who were mammying for other Black women. And I saw that a lot. And it was particularly a lot of divested Black women around that time that wanted to defend these ladies simply because they were Black women. And I said, okay, well, you know, that's you see that they don't benefit Black women and girls. Their messages that they put out, and they have big channels, and the messages they put out is to harm Black women and girls, not directly physically, they're not saying it, but by suggesting that they get in relationships where they tolerate abuse, where they get used, and where they can't be allowed to be feminine. Okay. And all of those ways, and not want to constantly talk about some other topics besides, but don't want to bring up what's really happening to Black girls in the community. Well, no longer community, but you know, and they don't want to talk about those things, but they wanted to Black women on a certain group of people, a certain group of men that have been very unhealthy for them. And so that's why I say it has to be a separation. And you can't get to a point where this lady clearly does not have your best interest, but you want to continue to be there or consider her your sister because she has brown skin. That's like these Black women continuing to call all of these guys brothers. And a lot of women hate for these women to call these guys brothers. But when you call these ladies sisters, and you continue to say we, it's kind of the same thing. And I'm not against anybody saying we, but when it gets to a group of people, well, my beliefs and my values and is completely different from theirs, because my belief is we are all consciousness. And if your consciousness is not in line with where I want to go, then there's no we, because bottom line, we're in avatars. Our bodies, we're avatars. Okay. The world is holographic. We are holographic. So I can't get into the whole we thing based on what the avatars look like. Okay. But, so here's what I meant by this is the moment I've been talking about. These pro-Black women, whether they want to call themselves pro-Black or not, that's their actions are showing that they are. Okay. They are rejecting Black women who don't agree, whose lifestyle is not in agreement with what they think these certain black women's lifestyle should be. One example is a woman who is dating a non-Black man. Don't have to just be a white man, just a man who does not identify or who's not Black identified. Okay. So these ladies, because a lot of these divested ladies did not want to reject them, because that's what my message, I've been pushing that for so long to get away from these ladies. But because it was so hard to let that brown skin on that woman go, the same way they couldn't let the brown skin on the black men go, a lot of these women couldn't let the brown skin on these black women go. Because they could not do that, they were rejected, forced out, okay, excommunicated, as Love Melanin said. They are excommunicating women who do not date black or who do not date lack. And I'm not saying that there doesn't exist healthy relationships between black women and black men. But even, okay, we already know the statistics. The women who complain about that know the statistics as well. So it's no need to keep going into that. It's just that they want you to stay behind, because it makes no sense for them to get mad at you and want to reject you and kick you out, but they're not trying to kick these males out. They keep giving these males their money. Kevin Hart goes online calling black women broke itches and saying dark-skinned black women have problems with credit, okay? And then you get Omari Hardwick that disrespects black women. And then you get 50 Cent, and the list goes on of these men, but black women still support them, right? They're not trying to kick them out the community. They still support and feel from the Advice Show. Even after he done had this channel called Ratchet Video Weekly, and then I didn't even care that he was married to this European Mexican woman, but it seems like well, European Mexican, but you know what I mean, this Mexican woman, Hispanic woman with Eurocentric features, okay? Because things that he has said on this platform before had already turned me off without me having to know who he's married to. I don't care about who people are married to, so I didn't even have to know who his wife was before I unsubscribed from him anyway, okay? Because when you say something that's constantly insulting black women, I don't even know who you're married to. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're married to a white woman, Chinese. I don't care who she is. You constantly insulting black women is enough for me not to support you. But black women waited to see that this man was married to some Eurocentric looking woman before they fussed, but then they went back to supporting him and watching his videos, okay? So what I'm saying is that they don't really care. They're not worried about the genocide of the race. If they were worried about that, they would get on these black men more than they get on these black women, because black women are not dating out that much. No, they want you to stay behind in the ship. They want you to sink with the ship. They don't care about you dating IR. They don't care about the children. If they cared about the children, they would say something about these children getting killed in Chicago. Not just Chicago. Chicago is the one that's in media, but it's going on around all over. They will say something about these kids constantly drinking lead, which is highly poisonous to them. They would do something about this education. They would provide more infrastructure. They would do more. But you see, they're not doing that, okay? When they need to go to Target, when they need to go to Macy's, they go into places that are white owned, yet they hate white people. But they're dependent on white people. They cannot survive without white people because they have built nothing, okay? And a lot of times and I've done like when I work with these elderly women and they talk about their husbands who they were married to didn't leave any kind of legacy for their children, didn't leave anything for their children at all. Same thing with Mansa Musa, who was considered to be the richest person in the world, and this was a black man. I think he was worth about 400 billion, something like that. But I don't think he left anything for his for the descendants. He didn't leave anything. That's just the nature of them. It seems like they don't leave anything. Not all of them. I know some do, but for the most part, it's just not in their nature, because Mansa Musa was before slavery. Okay. But anyway, getting off, I don't want to get too off point, but getting back on what I said. They don't care about you IR dating. They're rejecting you because this is the divine order. This is the universe doing this. A lot of these black women kept wanting to support these black women based on the fact that their skin was brown, no matter how treacherous she was to other black women and girls, and putting up dangerous content on their pages. Now, I kept talking about Yvette Carnell, so I wasn't even on CMG a whole lot, and definitely not the new ones that's popping up. But I was on Yvette Carnell, and think I was on her the most because she's very educated woman. I think that's why I was on her the most in the beginning of my videos, because she kept siding with Black, talked about what Black women go through. And what made me finally just stop watching Yvette Carnell is when she has said in a Facebook post about the rapes of Black women, and she was talking about the rapes of Black women. They were people, the white guys were raping Black women in order to hurt the Black man. And so she completely just looked over the suffering, what Black women back then suffered, and to have sympathy for the Black man, even though the Black woman was the one getting raped. That's when I was done watching her. That's when I knew that a lot of these ladies educated are just unhealthy for Black women and girls. And that's when I started my channel. It's time to separate from them. They don't care about you, and I'm not going to side with anybody who cares about me simply because their skin is brown. You keep showing me that you don't care about your own gender, even though you're brown. You don't care about yourself, because that is self-hate. Then I don't care about you. And I put up my channel, putting up video after video after video to push this separation. But it's now happening because a lot of these women who wanted to, and not all divested women, some divested women just quietly walked away. But some of them love Black women so much. And this was back in March when I was making my videos. Some of them loved Black women so much that they were willing to put up with the trash from all of them. And I just, So now it's happening where, since it's hard for them to let these ladies go, then these ladies are rejecting you. They're telling you they don't want you. You don't belong to them. You are not them. They're telling you that there is no we. I said I made a video said there should not be a we in 2018 and beyond. But and I hear it a lot of these women who maybe in interracial relationships, and I'm talking about popular YouTubers, still using the term we, knowing goodness well these Black women still using we. But guess what? These pro-Black women, they not saying we. They have completely rejected any Black woman who doesn't go along with their cult-like mind thinking. So the universe is finally responding and telling you that, no, these women are not going to make it. Okay. They are really low vibrational because they want to stick with a group of people, especially the males, that are vampiric, and they choose to stick with these males because majority of them are very vampiric. Even though it's some healthy ones, the majority are very vampiric. They have built nothing, and they don't provide anything. And and they chose to stick with these guys, and so they're going to remain in a very low vibration. But a lot of the other women that are the rejected ones are moving up. Okay, they're moving up to a higher vibration. This is meant to happen. So when these ladies want to reject you, that is a good thing. I mean, it really is a good thing. But anyway, that'll be the end of this, and I'll talk to you soon.